my name is Violet, and I'm going to show you my pedal board here. This is my normal pedal board. I have another pedal board that has some more advanced space weaponry on it, but I can't show you that right now because it's not fully operational. So I'm going to show you, this is the one I use for my normal guitar sounds that I've been doing on my cover videos and stuff. First thing I want to tell you is that what you're seeing is a mirror image. I don't know how to work the program to switch it so it's not a mirror image, so I'm not really a left-handed guitar player. It just looks like that because of the mirror image. And you're still seeing it here. This is actually the upper right corner of my pedal board. You're seeing it from the audience side. I'm standing it from the guitar player's side. And I'll just hit, I think you'll get the idea, but where it looks like I'm turning things up, I'm really turning them down and vice versa. So I'll just go through some of the pedals here. It starts, first thing is this chord tuner, which when I click it on will make my sound go away so I don't sound like a Dorkosaurus Rex tuning up on stage. So that's good. Come out of that and I go into this front row and across. First thing is a Digitech XP100 whammy wah, which gets all the functions of the whammy pedal of the Digitech. So you got the whammies, like different whammies. Okay, and then you have harmonizers. Bonus, that's all stuff that's normal on the whammy pedals, but this also has some wahs like this one. And so you can use this to replace wah pedals. It's not quite as good as the wah pedal. It's like a crybaby, but you don't have to worry about the treadle breaking because it's digital and it doesn't have a treadle. Okay, so next thing after Digitech XP100 whammy wah is the Little Big Muff by Electro-Harmonix, which is the same thing as the old Big Muffs, but it's smaller. It doesn't take up the gigantor pedal board space that the other ones do. So gets the same sound, same circuitry. So I'll just click that on. Crank it up. Raucous fuzz sound and adds a lot of extra noise on it too. Okay, so Big Muff. After that, this is unusual here. I use a multi-effects unit with stompboxes, which I've not seen too many other people do. This is a Boss ME6 multi-effects unit that I bought in 1993, and it's been on my pedal board ever since. It gets all kinds of effects, all your basic things, so it can be your only pedal, and for most people who use that, that's all they use. It gets compression, overdrive and distortion, EQ, noise gate, delay and reverb, and chorus and flanger, and you can put those all in as if you were clicking on a bunch of stomp boxes into a single patch, and it makes it real easy, so you can set your thing up with, say, something like this here. You might have this as, that's a sound that has overdrive on it, EQ, delay, and reverb. Here's another patch. It has, well, let me do this one here. This has compressor, EQ, delay, and chorus flanger and reverb. So yeah, so it's like just stomping on a bunch of boxes in one kick. Okay, so anyway, I'll move on from the Boss ME6. You can get better models today by other companies and by Boss that make, this is just an old model, they don't even make it anymore. But it works for me, so I keep it. In the back row I have, this is my modulation section here. It has 4 modulations. What it replaces is this Boss, Line 6 MM4 modulation stompbox modeler, which gets flangers, phasers, choruses, tremolo, vibe, rotary, all that stuff, and you can store them as little stomp boxes in here, and then you have a bunch in the library that you can pull up if you need them. And so it actually functions like 4 stomp boxes and takes up less space, and it has a lot more capability. So why did I take this thing off? Especially because it's like this nice blue color. I took it off because I use my modulations on-off throughout the song. What I mean is I might click one on for a few seconds and then turn it off. And then maybe turn it on a few seconds later and then off. And this one, every time I do that, it gets a really volume drop. So, and it's too much for me to work with as a guitar player to be jumping around like that. So I'm going to put this in another place on my other pedal board where it's not going to matter so much and it'll still be used. It's a great sounds, but it just, that volume drop is too hard to work with. So I replaced it with these 4 units that don't get quite as much, but they're still pretty versatile. So the first one here, this is a Neo clone. Like the Big Muff, it's a small version of the old classic small clone chorus that Kurt Cobain used for... Oops. Let me go to a clean sound here. So that, and it basically has 2 switches. It has depth. You have 2 depth switches. That's light depth and heavier one. Okay, and then different rates. You crank the rate with the button. It's most extreme. Okay, so that's the Neo clone. From there I got the Phase 90. So if this was Kurt Cobain, this is the arch rival Eddie Van Halen, the bright orange MXR Phase 90. If you want the atomic punk sound, you just click on a distortion, crank the thing about 10 o'clock. Phase 90. Okay, now this is weird. I have another phaser here. It's a Boss PH3 phase shifter pedal, the green one here. It actually gets the Phase 90 kind of sound on it. I'll show you. So here's the Phase 90, one more at 12 o'clock. And here's the phase shifter. I think the Phase 90 is a little more bold. So I use the Phase 90 as my main phaser, and then this is to augment it. I get like some different, more versatility out of the PH3. Here's another phaser. Another one. And the last phaser. Okay, and also another thing to note is, here's the Phase 90's extreme phasing. Okay, and here is the cranking up the phase shifters. So I get a lot more extreme. I can actually click on some delay, maybe a Neo clone. Get some kind of spacey effects. So, and then it has 3 more functions. It has this thing called fall, which is like the phaser only going down and then it jumps back up and then goes down again. Crank it up, you'll hear it a little more. And then the opposite is rise. Crank that up again. Okay, and then this has this great function called step, which is like an arpeggiator. So that's why I keep this on here. It just gives me a little more versatility than the Phase 90 does, but the sound isn't quite as good. And I think it actually gives me a volume drop, but it's not anything I can't work with. So, last one in my modulations is a TR2 tremolo by Boss, basic tremolo unit. Change the rate. It's got different wave shapes and you can change the depth on it. So it's a pretty good tremolo unit. Basic stuff, easy to use. Nothing fancy. Last thing over here is we're out of the modulations now, we're in my ambient effects. This is a Line 6 DL4 delay modeler. You can get all kinds of patches on this, like tape delay, analog delay, digital delay, a bunch of different things, and so it's really useful, very versatile, and then you can store them into 3 different stomp boxes. I usually use this one because it's the closest one to my foot, so I put something that's usable in there. And then over here you have a looping function and tap functions. So I'm not very good with the looping though, so whatever. Okay, so you got the basic idea of what I can do with all the different sounds now. Next video I will show you how I craft sounds around this Boss ME6 using the stomp boxes to color it. So, and I'll show you some examples. Okay, thanks, and I'll see you in a minute.